Andre Onana, the man who has been chipping in goals and making mistakes at Manchester United. Well, will the fans love to see him go? Or will they be happy to see him go? And the Turkish goalkeeper Bayinde brought in to fill the void in his absence as he joins Cameroon for the 34th edition of the African Cup of Nations. He's not the only one who will be absent. Mohamed Salah, the current leading goal scorer or joint top scorer in the Premier League, is also part of the players who will be missing for his club side. He scored 14 goals so far and 8 assists for Liverpool's. And over the weekend on New Year's Day, the man got a brace, to do a sign out party.
Yeah, for Liverpool.
As he fled, to join his Egyptian national team. And so it's going to be very interesting. But let's take a look at the players that will be missing here. A few of them that will be missing. The likes of Aint Nori of Wolverhampton Wanderers, a left back, is going to be joining the Algerian national side. Aint Nori joins the Algerian national side. He's been an integral part of the team from left back position. You have Yassa Larouchi he'll be joining Algeria as well. He plays for Sheffield United, and so one of the players to miss for his club side. Bertrand Traore of Burkina Faso. He plays for Aston Villa, although he's not had game time so far this season. You have Dango Ouattara of Burkina Faso. He plays for AFC Bournemouth. A very prominent man for AFC Bournemouth will be missing when he leaves for African Cup of Nations. Issa Kabore, who plays for Luton Town, who'll be missing as he joins his Burkina Faso side. Andre Onana, you know him already, the Cameroon international, and also Manchester United. He's considered goals are plenty this season. Hey, but will he be sorely missed when he joins his Cameroon national side? And one man I love so much, Yaoun Wissa of Brentford. He'll be joining DR Congo for the African Cup of Nations. Not forgetting Mohamed El Neni of Arsenal and Egypt. For the Gunners, will say, hey, we don't care. He can go. He's not even played up to 50 minutes the whole 2 years. So this man can go. As far as we're concerned, we wouldn't miss him. Not for a minute. Mohamed Salah, Egypt and Liverpool. 14 goals so far this season. And he's set to miss so many games. In fact, a double header against Arsenal. One of them almost the next weekend, and then you have that one in the league as well. So a big miss this man will be, surely. You have the likes of Antoine Semenyo. He's going to join the Ghanaian national team. He's an AFC Bournemouth stalwart in the midfield as well. Not forgetting Jordan Ayew of Ghana and Crystal Palace, another very prominent figure. And how about this man for West Ham United, Mohamed Kudus, will be joining the Ghanaian national side. And not forgetting Simon Adingra, the young man from Brighton and Hove Albion. He's going to be playing for the Ivory Coast, the host nation. And not forgetting Ibrahim Sangare of Ivory Coast. He joined Nottingham Forest on deadline day from PSV Eindhoven. That's going to be a very important player. Serge Aurier of Nottingham Forest as well will be joining the Ivory Coast national side. Willy Bolly, Ivory Coast, and Wolverhampton Wanderers. Sorry, Forest, I beg your pardon. He moved from Wolverhampton Wanderers to Nottingham Forest. And not forgetting Vase Besuma, the Tottenham Hotspur midfielder, will be joining Mali, as well when the Nations Cup kickstarts. Boubacar Traore of Mali. He also is playing in the Premier League with Gary O'Neill's side, and he'll also be surely missed. Naif Agard of West Ham United will join the Moroccan national team. And Sofiane Amrabat, United fans, look away. We'll be joining the Moroccan national team as well. And Manchester United will sorely miss him. We have a Nigerian finally on the list, Frank Onyeka from Brentford, will be joining the Nigerian national side. Alex Iwobi will leave Fulham and also join the Nigerian national side. Calvin Bassey will leave Fulham as well. Join Nigeria national team. Aula Aina will also join the Nigerian national side from Nottingham Forest. So about 4 Nigerians on the list as well will be missing for their teams. Not forgetting Nicholas Jackson of Chelsea. He's been missing goals plenty, but the man has scored 7 goals so far, in his first starts, in the Premier League. We'll be joining the Ivorian national side, Senegal national side, if I'm not mistaken. Then you also have a certain Idrissa Gana Gueye, the triumphant Senegalese national team midfielder. We'll be joining from Everton Football Club, and Moussa Niakate from Luton and Nottingham Forest will be joining Senegal national side. Fode Ballo Toure of Senegal Nottingham Forest as well. So Nottingham Forest have lost about 5 players.
They have. I think they have a total of about 6 players leaving for the AFCON.
You have Sheku Kouyaté, Senegal, who moved from Nottingham Forest as well. Another team who is suffering a huge blow. And not forgetting Pape Matar of Senegal and Tottenham Hotspur. But again, we've run through a lot of big names as well. But let's keep it within the confines of the big names that are joining. Which of the teams will be most affected? Not in terms of the numbers now. In terms of performance and actual delivery for the team. Which of the teams do we think will feel the impact the more of a departing player? Mohamed Salah, 14 goals, 8 assists, joint top scorer in the Premier League. Liverpool are on top of the league right now. Jurgen Klopp will look at the likes of Darwin Núñez, Cody Gakpo, Jota, who are yet to find their feet this season and say, "Oh, I'm going to be in trouble."
Okay, just like you said, Liverpool are really going to miss Mohamed Salah. That's a fact that cannot be denied. Definitely they will miss Salah. And West Ham, Mohamed Kudus just found his feet in the English Premier League and he started firing in all cylinders. And unfortunately, when he has just found his feet in England, he's going for the AFCON. So West Ham will definitely miss Mohamed Kudus and Agad, who is a Moroccan. They will definitely miss these 2 players who are actually in the form of their life currently. Talking about Ola Aina, very strong defender when it comes to Nottingham Forest. He has actually proved his mettle since he moved to Nottingham Forest. And players that will also be missed. Talk about Calvin Bassey, who has made that defense line his own in Fulham. After moving from Ajax to Fulham, he has actually cemented his place in that Marco Silva side in Fulham. And I'm also talking about Alex Iwobi, who left Everton and just walked straight into the first team of Marco Silva. That's Fulham. So I really do not know how they are going to navigate through the 1 month, and this guys to be away. Another player is the Everton guy, Gueye. I don't know how Everton will actually cope in their midfield without that strong midfielder Gueye. And I know that Arsenal will not so much miss what's his name, Mohamed Elneny, because he has actually been a bench warmer for a very long time, and I believe Mikel Arteta will be sending him out to go pick some form and come back to Arsenal and fight for the first 11 starting bet in that team. Who else will be missed? Jordan Ayew.
Yeah, for Crystal Palace. Definitely the guy. Since
Wilfred Zaha left Crystal Palace, he has actually stepped into his shoes and has done a whole lot from that left flank for Crystal Palace, and he will definitely be missed when you talk about that.
All right, so what the priorities are different now. Some teams are struggling to just stay alive in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And the likes of Nottingham Forest find themselves in that relegation dogfight. And if you have about 6 or 7 African players, Sojaria, Ola Aina, Sheku Kouyaté, guys who are Willy Bolly, guys who are first team players moving to the African Cup of Nations, then you really have a problem because you need to pick those points to stay alive in the Premier League.
True.
You look at the other ambition to win the league, you have Liverpool. And if your most potent option up front, Mohamed Salah, is missing, then you ask yourself, City may just be licking their lips and saying, thank God there's no Salah. Liverpool may not score more many goals. Let's take the advantage for next 3 weeks and blow the chasing pack away and win the Premier League title. Well, I don't know what you feel about the players departing and which team you think will be most affected with the number of departed players in terms of quality and quantity now, because Fulham, Nottingham Forest seem to be 2 teams, and West Ham with the most number of players leaving for the African Cup of Nations. Brentford as well in that category. What are your thoughts? What do you think about the team to benefit the most and the team to be worst hit with these particular departures? 0916 000965 or 0916 0333 965. That also doubles as a WhatsApp line. The 0916 0333 965 is also our WhatsApp line. Drop a message there and we'll also take it due time on the show. All right, meanwhile, for calls 0916 000965. And it's getting interesting as we've got games to look out for today. As far as the leagues around Europe are concerned, games in the Spanish La Liga. just right about now. A few games in the Spanish La Liga. Let's take a look at what's happening there in the Spanish La Liga. Granada are 2 goals up against Cadiz at the moment, while Celta Vigo will take on Real Betis, and Real Madrid will be up against Mallorca. Girona up against Atletico Madrid. And in the Coppa Italia, we have a game running at the moment. It's halftime in the fixture between Atalanta and Sassuolo, and Atalanta leads Sassuolo by 1-0 at halftime, while Roma will take on Cremonese later at 9 p.m. So these are the games currently running as far as the early part of the year fixtures are concerned. Meanwhile, Trophy the Champions, I think that's supposed to be the Super Cup, right, in France. We have Paris Saint-Germain up against Toulouse later in the day at 8:45 p.m. So those are the games to look out for. Phone lines are still wide open: 0916 000965 or 0916 0333 as well. Let's get to hear from you on the show this hour. And like I said, that also doubles as our WhatsApp line. Let's see, we've got a many message to take through. Alright, just before we exit the studio this evening, there's a big news that's not really interesting for football followers because we are wondering what is the fate of the average follower, right, of football right here on the continent. And we just had a big story. Super Sports will not be able to relay the African Cup of Nations. They say it's too expensive, to broadcast that game, and so CAF, another major tournament, and viewers around the world can't have a test of what their competition means to them or looks like on the continent. It's a very big blow right now because we only be depending on how we can best live stream or national television. So probably NTA comes to our rescue or any other terrestrial television right now comes to our rescue. But that's a very big blow, and not many are happy about the development. It's a very big blow. Yeah,
serious, very, very big blow, because I've been thinking, how do we get to see these games? Super Sports, this actually the only station or company that we have known for a while to be able to air all these competitions and give us what we actually want to see. I really do not know what has gone wrong, or the amount of money that is making them pull out of showing us this game. But whatever it is, I believe CAF should know that it is even a big blow to the competition, because most people outside the shores of Africa also depend on Super Sports. That means a lot of persons will be dependent, just like you said, on national televisions, or you'll be hoping on your phones to live stream. Well, it's really not going to be an interesting one, actually.
All right, just before we sign out of the show this evening, and a very sad story, and that's NFF has expressed deep shock at the news on Wednesday morning of the death of the first man to lead an African team to win a FIFA World Cup, Coach Sebastian Broderick Imasuen, at the hospital in Benin City, Edo State. The 85-year-old tactician, according to his family, was undergoing treatment for stroke and diabetes, but gave up the ghost at the University of Benin Teaching Hospital in the early hours of Wednesday, the 3rd of January 2024. The NFF General Secretary, Dr. Mohamed Sanusi, said on Wednesday the NFF and the entire football fraternity are sorely pained by the demise of Coach Sebastian Broderick Imasuen. He worked very hard at his craft and was tireless in his efforts to bring honor to the homeland through the various national teams he worked with. No one can ever forget how he led an unsung group of boys to China to win the first ever FIFA World Cup for Nigeria and Africa. Well, remember the famous under-16 national side had the likes of Ndoka Ogbade in that particular team. winning the first under 17, but under 16 at the time in
That was
China.
at that time, yeah.
Right. So Nigeria has 5, five World Cups to his name today, but one man started it. He's no more, and may his soul rest in peace. And this is how we want to sign out of the show today. Many thanks to Emma Explicit, Captain Explicit, for joining me on the show today, and many thanks to you as well, our companion, for being there since the hour of 60 at this point in time. Don't forget, Sport for Breakfast makes a return tomorrow as early as 7 a.m. I'll be here bringing you all the latest just making the rounds in the world of sports. Until then, do have yourself a lovely day ahead. Tick tick, zoom.